Hello. In Salesforce, we have a concept called workflow rules. Okay, workflow rules. Yeah. So now we have a workflow rules. So workflow rules. What is meant by workflow rules? Workflow rules are automated business actions. Workflow rules are automated business actions. So it have three types of events. One is field update and new task. Sorry. Yes. New email alert. Task and outbound message. Outbound message. Outbound message is something like a standard configuration. If you want to send this particular information, particular object record information to the third party system, you can configure outbound messages. Nothing but it's kind of an integration. Okay, it's not, it's kind of integration, it's actually integration in the standard configurations. When this will file, if imagine that this is your object, your Salesforce object. How you will mention Salesforce objects? It is S object. Salesforce object generic naming convention is S object. S object means both accounts, invoices, every object will fall under S object. Okay. It have three criterias. When record is created. When record is created. Is it visible or something? When record is created. The next one we have here is when record is created or every time update. So what does it mean? This will execute, yeah, whenever there is a modification, it will execute automatically. We have another scenario called whenever created or edited subsequently met criteria. Subsequently spelling I don't know. Subsequently. Subsequently met criteria. What is meant by subsequently met criteria? Let's say, hey, two things, no. Imagine, understand this one. If you are using a broadband, every 2 days your internet is down. Every 2 days, if your internet is going down, what you will say to the customer care? Hey, it is subsequently going down from last 1 week. Now, what is subsequently? It should work, it should go wrong, and then it should work, right? You have to go with the false statement to a true statement, false statement to a true statement. If it is always there in a true statement, if you constantly get internet, you never say, hey, it's okay, there is no changes. When it subsequently met criteria, in the sense, it should go false statement, I mean, it should go not working state, and then it should come to a working state. Right? You understand this? Same way in Salesforce records also, let's say whenever you are writing any email alert, let's say if you are sending an email to a customer saying that whenever your account status is hot, okay, might be account record status equal to hot, might be account record status equal to hot for a first time, and you send an email, and next time the customer wanted to update his account phone number, that time also rating will be hot, right? And again it will send email to a customer, isn't it? If I go here, primary source. Now if I am details, if I select my rating equal to heart, okay, I saved, imagine that I saved it, I sent an email, and tomorrow if I come back, if I update my phone number to something else, then do I need to send an email again? It's okay, I don't want to send an email to customer saying that your account status is changed to hot. Maybe? No. No, whenever I change for a first time, it's okay. Whenever I update any information, and always you get information saying that your account rating is changed to hot. That's not a valid, right? Subsequently met criteria in the sense, this will send whenever it becomes hot. You do changes any field, it will not send because this never been false condition anymore. It's always a true. If I make this hot to warm, I saved it, it will not send. If I come back and update to hot, then it will send. That is called subsequently met criteria. Every time updated or created, right? So if it is hot, if I modify this record for any field, it will send the alert for the hot changes. Created in the sense, whenever you are inserting your record for a first time, that time this flow will work. Clear? Any question? Modifying, but condition I am saying that it should send only rating equal to hot. So conditions are not meeting, right? You understood? Conditions are not meeting in this case. Now let's see how we can define our automated business. So to do that, you need to go to setup. Setup. So workflows, we have a concept called workflows, workflow rules. You can go through this text whenever you are practicing it, it will be available. For you guys, do not check a checkbox, don't show this page again. So I am checking it. For you, please do not check it and flow. So now, let's say I am creating a new workflow here. But workflows will be created for an object again. Workflows will be created for object. On click of new, it will ask to select the object, on which object you wanted to create workflow. Okay. The total limitations of workflows in Salesforce is you can have only 100 active workflow rules for one single object. It means you can create only 100 active workflow rules for invoices, 100 active workflow rules for accounts, 100 active. So every object will have only 100 active workflow rules. Okay. That's the limitations. Where is my invoice? Here we go. Invoice. Click on next. And what is my rule name? I'll say. Why I'll say. Let me create an email. Let me create on account only. I'll create for the first one. Okay. On account. Next. Account rating changes. Account rating changes. We have three criteria as I mentioned: created, and every time it's edited, created, and any time it's edited to subsequently met criteria. Okay. You can see, right? So now let's say I wanted created is very straightforward. Whenever you create, it will just create it. Create and every time it's selected. Let's select this one. And here you have two things. Criteria to met. I said, if you know one thing you can able to do for every validation. This is not looking like a validation rule criteria, right? This is something else. But if you can see criteria are met, formula evaluates to true. This time it will become the same function that like your validation rule. Either you can use this. This is the way you are writing for criteria. This is for a simple type of conditions. If you have a complex conditions, then it's a right practice to use formula evaluates to true. Here what I want to do, let's go to criteria met. I'll say account rating. Where is my rating field? Account rating equals account rating equals hot, insert selected. I'll go save and next. Okay, save and next. Now it will ask you to add actions, workflow actions. There are 4 different actions as I mentioned: task, email alert, field update, outbound. Existing action in the sense, if you already have any actions defined, you can select one of them. Okay. In our case, we do not have anything, so let's select a field update, and I'll say account DES update, and this is my new field update. Which field I wanted to update in account object? Description I wanted to update. Description. Use a formula to set a value. So what I can do, show formula editor. Again it comes to the same panel, right? It's always the same. Now what you can do, insert field. What is your field here? Rating, right? Rating is a pick list, isn't it? You can use as it is, or you can also typecast to text explicitly if you want it. And I'll also add one more point saying that plus I'll also add date field so that we'll understand whether it is modifying or not. Where is my last modified field? Last modified ID, last modified date. Okay, last modified date. This is my syntax. Any other incorrect parameter type, expected text received date field. Okay, this is also saying that it should be text field, so I'm typecasting to text. Okay, no errors. Save. So all I created one field update, which now I can see done. So this is your workflow rule. This is your workflow rule. This is your actions. Okay. Now whether this workflow is active or not? No, it's not active. Once after you create a workflow rule, you have to activate workflow rule manually by clicking a button active. By clicking a button active. So now it's activated. Now let's go back and we'll verify. I edited it. Am I modified anything here? Hot? No, right? I saved it. Where is my description? Here you can see, right? 4/32/53Z is the date that it is created. Okay. In the description, it got updated automatically. Hot. Let me make my edit, and I saved. Am I modified anything? What's the data here you got? Before it is 47/53Z. Now it is 48/12Z. So even if you modify or don't modify, what is happening here? The data is getting updated automatically, right? So it means that every time the workflow rule is firing. Every time the workflow rule is firing. Clear? But this is not a right information, right? You are sending continuously saying that your account state is updated, rating updated, rating updated. User will feel bad. Why I subscribed to this arc? With too much of communication is also not good for business, isn't it? Now, what we can do here? We can't make. Let's edit it. You can say subsequently met criteria. I just made subsequently met criteria. I saved it. Okay. Now come back whether this is active. Yes, this is active. Now I edit it. What's the current date? It is saying 48/12Z. Okay. I saved it. Any modification you got? No, right? Let me remove this. Let me change to warm. Save. Now it become false state. I mean not working state. Now again I am making this to working state. What's the date? 48/12Z. 49/42Z. Even if I modify now, edit, save. time zones. I don't know what is JET stands for. It is Zulu. What is Zulu? I never. Oh, how do convert? Sorry, no clue. Like what is JET stands for? Save it. Okay, it's a Zulu time. Yeah, okay, Zulu. But yeah, last modified is taking a Zulu. I don't know. We focused on dates only. We never focused on times. Okay. Now it's a Zulu. Good information. Okay. So now you can see even if I modify, it is not updating, right? But imagine this way. Okay, now this is clear what is difference between every time edited and subsequently met criteria. You understand the implementation part. Okay. So again, right, workflows is just a condition. So adding a criteria, nothing else, guys. So all you need to add a criteria and save it and add how many workflow actions you needed. There is no limit here. You can add multiple actions. You can add another field update. It's okay to add. Okay, you can add. But imagine this way: whenever your credit card bill generates, so every 15 days or before 10 days, you will get a notification. Tomorrow is the reminder, and 9 days to go reminder. How that will be scheduled? How that? No, actually here you can see, right, time dependent workflows. In the time, these time dependent workflows will be available only for created or evaluation criteria subsequently met criteria, not on the every time created and edited option. You can see if I select every time edited, create and every time edited, so that option will be disabled. You cannot have time dependent workflow action because your evaluation criteria is this one. Okay, so it is expecting us to change. If you want to use time dependent workflow actions, change evaluation criteria to created. But created is something which will not satisfy our requirements, isn't it? So it may become hot to cold and cold to hot. So every time it become hot, we need to send an alert. That's the expectation, isn't it? So this is something is not valid. So create and every time edited subsequently met criteria is the right thing that you can do. Now we can see we can add a time trigger. So to add this one, you need to edit, and you can have a time trigger. Add time trigger. So let's say 10 days after rule trigger date when this workflow files after 10 days. Okay, and I can add another time trigger also after 20 days from the rule trigger date, or I can say last modified created or SLA expiration date. There are a date field called expiration date, or you can say before 10 days or before 2 days of SLA expire date. See the difference. In account object there is a field SLA expiration date. In here we have uh, might be, I don't know. There is no meanings, right? So I'm not. Yeah, it's just a simple field. SLA open time, and I don't know. Like I'm not focused on that time. I mean, what that meant for. Like if you want, use it or create a new one if you need it. But again, no. It's a normal field and an account object, which is a date fields again. Only date fields are available. Okay. So this is expiration. Let's say if 2 days after you have expiration date, then you will be sending notification to saying that hey, this is your last reminder. Now how many time dependent service level agreement? Good. Okay. Now it's not depend. It's not like that side for. It's not something like limited like 2 or 3. You can add how many time triggers you needed. One I am saying 2 days account, 2 days before SLA, 10 days after rule trigger date, And inside you can add again field update, task, email alert and everything, right? You can see, isn't it? So what is this do? What this do? Let's go. I'll say new field update or new task. Assign to, we need to select a user to whom you need to assign. Let me assign myself. Subject is workflow time actions. I'm saying workflow time actions. And due date is rule trigger date plus 1 day. And I'll say status deferred, waiting on someone else, priority normal, and I'll save it. Okay, done. When this will create? 2 days before SLA expiration date. Okay, or I'll say, yeah, 2 days, and I'll say done, activate it. Now I need to select a default user because the one you are saying a futuristic one, right? In future, the rule should run on by whom? Let's say I'm saying rule should run by a Lakshmi Deepak, and okay, that's it. Save. Now rule is active. Now what I'll do, I'll just subsequently met criteria, right? We have hot. So I need to make it to cold, warm, save. I'll say hot. Your date field is updated. Okay, this is 5641Z. Let me go here. Time dependent, time based workflow rule. There is a concept called time based workflow rule, right? You can monitor because this is something which is not executed. This will run at a future, right? Workflow rule or process name contains, you can also say equals, whatever you wanted, such. You got this one. Now when this is gonna automated type, schedule it. When this is scheduled, 4/28, 2021, 50, 56, right? After 10 days. And which record? Prime source is my account name, okay? Now, if this account rate workflow is going to change, update in this time. This is the time dependent. After 10 days, it will fire, okay? But why this is not coming up? There is other one called SLA date. SLA date is not there, right? So I'll say SLA date is today. Then it should execute after 2 days. I mean 20th, right? Now let me go back and I'll edit it. Again, warm, cold. We have to do this. No other options. I'll say hot. We got updated. Let's go back and check in here. We got 2, right? Before we don't have SLA, so that automated action is not generated. Now we have SLA. One is executing on 4/16 before. I mean, today is 18. Ideally, it is saying that it should execute on before 4/16. Will that be executed or not? I'm not too sure. This will execute? No, I don't think. Because it is saying schedule date is 4/16/2021, right? But this will not execute. Yeah, so only it get confused, it will not execute. Leave as it is. Now, whenever these are automated actions, so this will be a future runs. Clear? If you want to send it, if you are talking about invoice, remember this. If you want to send a notification before 5 days of due date, before 3 days of due date, so all you need to add your time triggers and you need to send a alerts to the users, right? So you don't want to worry manually. It's kind of automated every time, every day. So only you'll get messages from banks saying that if you already paid, do not worry. If you don't pay, pay it, right? Because that's a standard template that they created for everything. They are not checking whether you paid or you're not paid. They created as a standard template. So on that object of particular dates, it will execute constantly. Clear? Any question in this case? Any question here? Okay. Now what I'll do, so we have a first workflow rule, right? We have our invoice object. So we decided to avoid duplicates, right? So let me create a two new fields. I'll create a two different new fields, which is a text type, okay? Which is a text type. Next, start date text. This is something like I'll say 18 characters and I'll say next. So I'll use my workflow to do my job. I don't add this to a layout. I'm keeping this field as my backend field. Okay. So again, I'll select one more text field, which is for end date, which is for end date text. I'll say length is 18 and I'll say next. Next. I'll don't add to a page layout, save. Now I got my outflow. Now, whenever I create an invoice of start date and end date field, I need to update it to my text fields. Okay, I need to copy those values from a backend. I need to update. So how can I do that? I'll go to my workflow rules. Simple. I'll go to my workflow rules. What I can do here, I'll create a workflow rule on my invoice object. I'll create my workflow rule on invoice object. Invoice. But if you can see in our invoice, due date and these dates are required fields, right? Always. They cannot be blank. But they can be changed, right? So now what I'll do, every time I created or every time edited, I'll pick this one, I'll say copy invoice start and end date. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to copy. I don't have any criteria, okay? I'll say start date. Where is my start date here? Start date not equals to null, and I'll say end date not equals to null. But by default, these conditions they are saying unconditional. So these both should be true. But in my case, if any one is not blank, I need to do. So all I need to add here, you have a add custom logic. There you need to say instead of and you can say or. Right? Save and next. So what I need to do, I need to add a field updates. How many field updates I need to add? Two field updates. One is for start date, one is for end date. Each field update will update only one field, invoice fields, or you can also update to contact field because they are in master detail. So now invoice field, what is my start date text? This field I need to update, right? Use a formula to set value, show, and I'll say text of because that's a date field. You can't use directly. Insert. Where is my start date? Start date. Save. And next one, I need to add another field update. New field update. End date. Invoice. And invoice end date field, right? End date text. So only I mentioned text field so that it's easy for me to understand. If it is end date, you don't have API name to classify. Here, end date text. Use blank field. Use a formula to set value. Text of. Gautam, you were so silent today. What happened? Okay. Now what we are doing, see, okay, Gautam, for your understanding, we are creating this workflow rule to implement our first validation rule. So, yeah, that is for third. That is for third. Okay, I'll show you. let's not compare, only check like this one, how to create, what we are doing here, what we have done here, Gautam, what we have done in this workflow. What added, like, so all we are trying to do, whenever you entered your start date and end date fields here, start date and end dates, so automatically you are cloning these fields to a text fields which we created for a backend. Those fields are not visible on your naked, I mean the page layout, but those fields are available at a backend. Okay. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Let me go to developer console. This is like a query editor for us. Okay. Like a database query editor. So all you need to go to queries. You can say open source. Which object we are talking about? Invoice. Invoice object. Start date, end date, start date, end date, ID, select query. So we don't have a fields, right? Start date and end date, right? My expectation is that whenever user changes any data in the inside start date and end date, automatically this data should be updated. That's the expectation. No, refresh, query. So database, if you want select statement so that you can retrieve a data from a data tables. Here you need to retrieve an object, so we are writing a query. This is a database language, so database queries. Now, edit text. So we need to discuss. This will come under like another session. Don't worry. For now, I wanted to show because these fields are not added to a layout, so that you can't see whether it is updated or not. Now, what I'll do, I'll just update my workflow rule. I activate it. Now I activate it, and every time it's record, edit, and deleted. So what I do, I just edit for AI5, save. Now go to developer console. For AI5, the data is copied, isn't it? Data is copied or not? Let's say if I modified date 15 to date 16 and that 9 to 30, I can edit it. Save. Oh, should be 90 days after the start date. No, yeah, I can't do it. Leave it. It would be tough. Okay, you can, as soon as you modify, the dates will also update in this place, right? So now, if I don't have validation error, that will be saved. Now what I can do? Now we have a text fields created. So all I can say duplicate rules. Now I can see I'm going to my duplicate rules. New invoice, and I'll say invoice or invoice with same contact, and enforce sharing rules. It's okay. Do you want to allow or do you want to block? Let's say I need to block only, I should not allow. Block. And I'll create one matching rule, create new matching rule, save. Okay. Now I can see text fields, right? Contact, match blank, end date, exact, match blank, start date. Now what happened? Exactly. So we utilize, so we are not able to create a matching rule directly, but what we have done, we use another concept called business or workflows. Workflow field action we use to update these fields automatically because to a text field, okay? And then we can able to refer in a duplicate rules. Invoice. So now we can able to implement with the configurations, isn't it? Now if I go back, if I say clone, let me clone it, and I try to save, you cannot save because, yeah, We are going into the invoice and we are recreating it. Just clone in the sense it will create another data, same type of clone, and you can ready to modify when the fields are what fields you need more to modify. It will be creating another one with the same data. If you want, you can modify it meanwhile. Now if I save, what it is saying, you cannot save this record because duplicate record already. To save, use the following information. View duplicates. These are the duplicate records that we already had in the system. Right? So this is how we can able to stop it, isn't it?